Don't fall into this trap, you know. And make sure my mic was still on. Don't fall into this trap with semen retention, the ego of it, if you will. It completely defeats the purpose. You know, when we're on semen retention, you're doing something that no one else is doing, this mystical thing, and it's going to get you all the girls and the attention and all of the validation. Your life is going to be magically forever fixed and changed. You know, you're going to plug all the holes that are dragging you down. You get a little bit of an ego from that. I'm special. I'm the chosen one. You know, God has specifically selected me to be this, you know, to step out of the matrix and all of that. That's a big hurdle you're going to have to climb through. That ego that comes with that is going to be one of the number one sources of your discomfort, pain, and suffering. That's getting in the way of your peace and your benefits and all of the things that are on the other side of semen retention that are pure and magical and amazing. I don't know what adjectives, whatever ones you want to use. I remember I was like that for a long time. You know, I did semen retention and it was like, oh, I'm doing this super hard thing that no one else is doing and I'm somehow better than people. And you might not even like directly hear that, but it comes out in your actions and how you perceive other people. Ironically enough, like that was in the beginning of my semen retention phase when I first started and I got this initial jolt of energy and this initial burst, and it's like, wow, this is doing super good, right? I'm starting to see this extra juice that I have, and I'm able to use that in aspects of my life. And then what happens is it's like a game, like God all of a sudden takes it away. You might go through that pause, that post-acute withdrawal symptoms where you just feel nothing, almost depressed for a little bit, takes away the benefits, and that's where the real work starts to take place. All of this and then as your vibrations raising in the background because you're doing semen retention, all of this ego comes up. All of the things that are holding you back, all of like your traumas, wounds, insecurities, your pride, all this stuff that's causing you pain and suffering. That's what's causing you the discomfort in the mind, in your emotions. It's like all of this stuff that's been just holding you back that you haven't even been aware of. Your job is to become aware of it, understand why you're feeling what you're feeling, the reactions, the emotional reactions that come from all of that. It's all ego. It's all ego. If you really truly want, that's what's in the way of the self-confidence, the true confidence, and that's what's in the way of the true peace. And once you really come to terms with and accept those parts of you, that's where the magic ingredient of all this comes in, and that's humility. You know, like I've come to find that like real self-confidence, like the stuff that doesn't wax or wane depending on your circumstances, it's always coupled with a really strong sense of humility. Because to be, you know, to know yourself and to not base your self-esteem off of something external to you, you know, you really have to know yourself, and to know yourself means being very humble, because you have to come to a place of acceptance that like, man, I'm not better than people. You know, I suffer just as much as everyone else does. I still have reactions. I'm still human. And God's going to show you that. God's going to walk you through that process. You don't have to know all the answers to this right now, but just know that if you feel like life is really throwing you a lot of like just a lot of hell, you're on the right track. And what's going to and that's where the humility is coming into place. But don't fall into that trap that just because you're on semen retention, you think you're special. Quite the contrary. You're going to get so ripped apart and so ripped open that it's it's not even funny. It sucks, right? But that humility that comes with it, that's the answer. That's the antidote to almost all of that pain, all of that discomfort you're feeling, because what's burning up is your ego. And arrogance and self-awareness don't go hand in hand. They don't. So the more self-aware you become of why you're doing what you're doing, why you're feeling what you're doing, like the ego can't exist in that. But what can exist and what is the antidote to all of that discomfort is humility. Humility is in accepting where you're at. Humility is accepting is coming to terms with the fact that, wow, like I'm not perfect. All of this stuff is real and it exists inside of me. This dark side to me exists. But what's cool about that is once you start to really get in touch with that, that's when you can really start to heal yourself. And then once you start to heal yourself, you can start to heal others. And that's going to come through in lieu of your purpose, whatever the hell that might be for you. Don't judge what that might be for you. That'll come when it's time to come. I had just found that when I really started to get into my journey on semen retention and stuff really started to come up, stuff that I had no idea I was aware of. I thought I would have been on the spiritual path, like the self-introspection, personal development path for like 8 or 9 years before I started semen retention. I thought I had so much stuff figured out. And then all of a sudden I was shown these answers and shown this, how much I really didn't. And it was a big wake-up call for me, specifically in the relationship side of things. I thought I was such the perfect partner. I was aware, emotionally intelligent, confident, introspective. I could communicate all this stuff. And then I had really, truly realized how codependent I really was, or just how emotionally dependent on others I really was. And it's such a simple thing that you're not even aware of. But once you accept it, that's when things start to change. Because you can't truly let go of something or change something until you accept it. And to accept it requires a certain dose of humility. It just is what it is. So you're never going to truly change. You're never going to truly get better. And you're never going to truly transcend and find, I guess, the pot at the end of the rainbow, whatever that might be for you, whatever you're looking for out of semen retention, until you have a level of humility to accept what's holding you back from that. You're just not. And so when you do finally find what it is you're looking for, inner peace, confidence, stability inside, second tier stuff like relationships, women, companionship, all of that, the things that are holding you back from that are going to be put in front of you. And once you accept it with humility, that's when you finally get it. It's funny. It's like God uses what you want as tools to wake you up, to realize that you don't, you're always going to be chasing it because you feel like you need it. Then once you stop needing it and just accept it, accept the fact this isn't going to make you happy. And once you do that, it'll be sent to you. It always is, and it'll be sent to you in the best version possible for you, prescribed to you. This is your individual ticket to what you want. It's beautiful. And then you can enjoy it without being dependent on it. You can accept when it's time to let it go, whatever that might be for you. Even your confidence and sense of self-worth, like that's going to get ripped apart too. But there's something underneath all of that, the salvation that people talk about, the consciousness underneath all of that. If you're really truly serious about inner peace and stability and being calm and okay with yourself, what's underneath all of this? And I won't really get into that too much. Maybe another video, but requires a very large dose of humility, semen retention. You're not going to get too far if you're arrogant. And so you might in the beginning, you're going to make strides with anything in the beginning, but to truly change, man, that humility, it's going to really quiet you down. I remember too, once I really started to accept like some just major things that I thought I had healed or I thought I had taken care of, but I didn't. That was when life really just truly started to work for me. Process so much. I was able to let go of so much. I'm not saying it took away all my life's problems, but it definitely made everything. The volume of life just got dimmed down drastically. It was like I was wearing some really solid ear protection. I used to serve in the military, and we used to have me and the guys on certain teams, we would get given these things called peltors, and they were advanced hearing protection, and they would not only they would muffle anything that went above a certain decibel, it would lower. So it wouldn't hurt your ears. You could still hear it, but it would muffle it. But it would also enhance, like footsteps. So when you were going to, doing a direct action situation, if need be, in close quarter battle, like it would enhance like footsteps and really small and muted noises, but it would also protect yours. And so like what I mean by that is like you could adjust the volume on them, and it's like it turned down the volume to whatever you wanted. So if we're in a helo or something, wouldn't ears wouldn't get shattered. But that's what I feel like this has really done for me, is that dose of humility, man. It's really turns down the volume of life a lot, your ego, and you're never done. So the quicker you accept this level of humility in you, the faster you're going to be able to let go of a lot of stuff. So yeah, I hope this video speaks to somebody. If it doesn't, that's fine too. Hopefully it does though. Yeah, humility, baby. It's the doorway. Don't fall into that trap of the ego and semen retention. You're not special, right? If you think you're special, ask yourself why you think you're special. All right.